Um, screen sharing going on here. Okay. All right. All right. So let me just reload the page here. So let's live 3. Okay, so I'm not even sure what I'm going to be making here. Just starting off by first, putting the initial thing. So the start script, what it does is it says to the browser that you should execute this code. Otherwise, it's just going to create all the code that you're stacking together. And I can give a demonstration of that, but I may make it, I may replace it or remove it at some point. Anyway, let's just put this on the side-by-side view here. So let's see what I can make that's different than what I had made before. So I got the element spawner. It's pretty nice. I've been wanting to make a semi-relaxing sort of growing scene. So let's see, emoji for dirt. Rock. Rock's not too bad. Let's see. Surprising there's no grass. So I was thinking that I probably would put a background. Background's going to be like brown, so you start off and it's dirt. And so here in the background we have the styling. Background color, we're going to make it brown. Okay, so it starts off brown. It's not the best brown I've ever seen in my life, but let me see here. See if I get a better brown. I think that's a little bit better. I think I can just put that color in there. Okay, it's better. Then I want to, this is the dirt, so I want to add some rocks to it. So I can start by doing just this one. It's not the best, but not terrible. So it's basically going to, this is the spawn rate, how fast they spawn, and this is whether or not they're turned on. So right now it's active. So there's a ton of them being spawned right here. This is my text data, and they're all located in the same spot. And so what I really want to do is actually create some randomness to it. So I just, I want to add a random number here instead of specifying the location, like hard coding it. I'm just going to say it's going to be a random number between 1 and, if we make the width of it like 10 view width, and the height of it 10 view height, then here we have the let's see, font, the font size. And so the height of it is 10 view width, and also the font size is 10 view width. So like the box, the hit box should be like, about the same size as it, if that matters. And then its location can be from like 1 to 90. And this actually has to be, I need to apply units to it. It's 10 VH. So in the pre-built here, I have some of these cases already handled. So a random pixel value. Alright, so we'll just delete that one. Hopefully this is close enough. So basically, we're just going to change this to view width because this is the left portion of the screen, and this is going to be between 1 to 90 view width. So it's going to generate a random number between 1 to 90. It's going to scatter it across the screen. And then we're going to do that for the top location as well. So this will basically randomly drop them around the area. This is going to be view height. And we don't want a 0 here. We just want, okay. So now let's see. All right, so it needs to have the rock picture first, and also 10 is apparently way too large. So maybe 5 view width and 5 view height. Okay, so there's little rocks that appear. Now, as the little rocks appear, then gonna need to have some trees start to show up occasionally. So at a slower rate, we can add trees. So let's just take the element spawner itself, duplicate it. Should appear here in a second. Okay. So this one, we just want to give it a different name. This one we should call rock spawner. Needs to have an identity that is unique. And then this one we can call tree spawner. Okay, and then the only thing here is that the spawn rate needs to be a unique variable. So spawn rate for the tree, and then spawn rate tree. Alright, so now we have our tree spawner. We need a tree emoji. Evergreen tree. Alright. And this one, we can make it a different rate. So it could be like 4,000. So it's half. And let's just spawn the right side here. Okay. It's interesting. Okay. So now might be some kind of game that we can make out of this. It's good at making some random maps. Are these draggable? Oh yeah, okay. So that's pretty interesting. It would be interesting to be able to sort of just take this, configuration here and then save it and then create a map. So then you can make like a little custom level with all your characters and it'll instantly spawn them in this kind of configuration. That could be very interesting. The ability to do that kind of precision as well as handcrafting. Hang on a second. All right. Just verifying that no one was still watching. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty interesting. There is a known mobile bug, which is kind of annoying, that dragging only works with one object. I'm trying to fix that particular one. Okay, so okay. It's a sort of a challenge. It's almost a game in itself, actually. So there can be some kind of sorting mechanic here by using, pictures of different different styles. You could basically make a whole bunch of different games. And the clicking is actually pretty accurate. Some collision would be nice. I think just throwing in collision here is going to kick it up a notch. Let's see if it works correctly to just do the collision engine. First, let's just see if it fails. Okay, it has not failed. Now, let's see. I need to add them to the collision lists. So they need to first have unique identifiers. All right, string with timer count. Perfect. Basically, every time this timer that causes them to spawn is fired, it's going to have a number. And so this is going to be, we're going to call it rock, and it's going to be rock 1, rock 2, rock 3. So they all have their own unique names. And then, oh, this should not be rock, it's the one beneath it. right here, rock, and this needs to be rock spawner. All right, so now we can take this and we can go down to the tree spawner one, and under ID we can put the same thing there, and then just reference the rock spawner, and then call it tree. So we're just gonna delete that. And then this is gonna be tree. And then this is gonna be tree spawner. Okay, now I just need to figure out. So there's a lot of different collisions that could be potentially made here. But I don't care about them colliding with the ones of the same group. So it might be best to just let's see, create a list of one group and then create a list of the other group, and then just permutate across those two lists, and then create all possible collision pairs, and then just check them all, which would get pretty large. But I guess I could, do some better collision as well. Well, I guess really all I need to do is compare any new incoming object and everything that exists, and then whenever I'm moving an object, I need to compare that object and all the other objects. So otherwise everything is just basically static here, unless I add animations, which would be, obviously necessary. Well, I'm just gonna brute force it and do all of them, because there's no use making it too complex. So when this runs, if it's active, we're going to modify, or let's see the variable here. Okay. Then so we're going to, it's going to be called collision list A. Yeah, I'm going to have to construct these lists, I think. Okay. I will call it pre. Okay. I will call this pre-collision list. pre-collision list A. All right, and we're gonna append the ID of this particular element. So right there. All right, and then we're going to do that on the other one here for the tree spawner. Except it's going to be pre-collision list B, and it's going to be the ID of this one. And so then basically I'll have a list of all the rock locations, and I have a list of all the tree locations, or all the tree IDs. So I can do a for loop across all the IDs of the rocks, and then for loop across, so a nested for loop, and just basically calculate all the possible different combinations of collision, and just do a check on every single one of them. And then if there is a collision, then I can just do something. And obviously at this level, it's probably going to be pretty crazy, but maybe at smaller levels, if I reduce the timer, maybe it'll be, and I make them a bit larger, it might be doable. So here we have this one. We're going to make B. It's going to be tree spawner. Tree spawner. And it shouldn't be rock. It should be tree. Okay. So now, first let's just see if this crashes or what it looks like. Okay. Good. Now let's see what's going on in here. Variable list. Okay, yes. They are populating. Okay. So now when the collision timer happens, first it's going to we're going to have a loop with this for loop, and then inside of there we'll have another for loop. So this will be called, so here's the loop. This has to go beforehand. Okay, so here we have the recurring timer, and yeah, this is the collision timer. That's fine. This is going to be the collision loop, which is going to be the length of collision list A, and we're going to construct collision list A using this loop here. So this is going to be pre-collision A loop, and the number of iterations of that is going to be it's going to be the length of the pre-collision variable that I was creating up above. Pre-collision list A, right there, that one. So let's see here. Yeah, the variable name, yes, is going to be pre-collision list A. Pre-collision list A, right there. And then, so it's going to go this loop over that duration. And then its action is going to be, we're just going to duplicate it into itself. Just okay, so in its action, it's going to cause another for loop, which this one's going to be pre-collision B loop. Okay, And then this one will be pre-collision list B. Okay. And so what it will do then is we're going to create collision list A. So we're going to do variable here. We're going to do modify variable. And then, so this is going to be collision list. Oh, collision list A. And the modification to it is going to be take whatever the value is of the current loop on this array and then on that one. So we're going to append, just delete that. We're going to append so there's probably like a pre-built thing that does this. Okay, so we got a loop, a string with a loop count. So actually what we want to do is we want to reference the array, and we want to reference the array at the loop index. So let's see, reference, okay, we want to reference an array, not the entire array. All right. And hang on, the wrong one is is set as the top. It has not been updated. Let's see. Yep. Okay, so hopefully now, okay, referencing the array. Okay, that looks a little better. That's going to be collision list A, and then it's, yeah, it already has the reference loop counter, which is great. Collision list A, and then this is going to be pre-collision loop, pre-collision A loop. So it's going to be right here. The lack of coloring here, mostly due to laziness and painful on the eyes. Okay, so we're going to modify that variable, and then we're going to do that again, but it's going to just be with all the B's. And then, okay. Okay, let's see what's going on here. So what is actually what currently happens? It actually prints something. So let's see what's going on here. Oh, there's a ton of errors being thrown. Cannot read property of, okay, let's see, collision list, or var variable list. Collision list A, oh, they're all undefined. Okay, so reference the loop, collision list A. Oh, this So this array, this is the one that I'm trying to add to, but this should be the pre-collision list. Yes, this one. So this is the variable. I have an array, collision list A, and I'm modifying it. I'm going to add in from this array. I want the loop value, and then from this one, I want this, or this one. I think that's right. This is not correct. It needs to be updated or refreshed. Okay. Pre-collision lists are there. Collision list A, collision list B. Let me just do this. Okay, cool. Variable list. Okay. These look to be correct to me. Oh, yeah. Okay, so rock 0. Hang on a minute. Oh, I think there's like, yeah, some diagonal, or maybe I only need to do half of it. I'm probably doubling how much needs to be done, but collision ID is not defined. Yeah, I think the safest thing to do might be to just import the improved collision engine. But let's see what errors we're getting. Collision ID. Oh wait, actually it's probably in here. Oh, yes. This was probably on the last episode. What is the name of this thing? Case collision. Yeah, it's part D. This is, I was contemplating setting this channel as a comedy channel because I think that might be the most appropriate definition of what is actually going on here. Mostly laughable. Making the same mistakes again and again. Not updating things. And so having to actually write code, it's disgusting. So this is the ID. This is the purple. Oh, I don't want to attack it so hard. Yeah, we'll just call this, we'll get the string here. And we'll call this collisions. You know, all collisions. All right. Cannot read property of undefined. Reference array. Collision ID. So there, I got the collision ID. Cannot read. Oh. 160. 18,000. Okay, it's working. I think it was just a lot. Let's refresh really quick. Okay, I need to close this. Oh, I think it might have been lagging a little bit. Oof. Oh, I see. It's so fast. It's oh god. That's why. Yeah. It's it was checking the collisions every 10 milliseconds. So it's getting a little overwhelmed. Okay, now it's like reasonable. It's only at 35,000. Yeah, because I think I'm doing the square matrix right now, and I probably only have to do like one corner of that. But you know, oh, now it's looking better. Okay, it was just lagging from beforehand, so this is actually maybe more doable. And I can just like lower the. Yeah, this is okay. Yeah, I can reduce their spawn rates a bit. Just because, you know, they get pretty numerous pretty fast. And then if I make them just a little bit larger too, like 7.5 view width, and then make these 7.5. I could also make them variable sizes, but you know, it just depends upon how crazy I want to get. 7.5 view width, 7.5. All right. So now they're going to be like a little bit bigger, spawn a little bit slower. Hopefully that will make the computer not just choke so much. There's nothing there to, you know, okay, now there's multiple. So we should start seeing prints to the console. Oh, there were no collisions. That was the problem. It only happens when there's collisions, that's right. Okay. And is this being done? Okay, so I don't know if I have finalized or even started the remove from list feature, which is an obvious one that is necessary, but I just haven't, you know. I think the um, headphones died like again. Maybe yeah, they seem to be working, so that's good. All right, so the collisions are working and everything. And let's just see if I have something that allows me to pop them when this does happen. Because if I can just, so here is, we've detected a collision. I have here's the two different IDs. If I can just remove that from the original vector, that would be helpful. Or I could just throw it off the screen. That's much easier. Just gonna do that. So I'm just gonna take the element. I'm gonna modify the element. I could delete it, but then by deleting it, I have to like modify the collision list, and I'm just like, screw it, whatever. It's not like choking yet, so there's no reason for me to start over, engineering it. When it starts suffering really bad, then I will do that. So if they collide, so a rock and a plant collide, then I guess it should make a bone. So here we'll do bone emoji. Okay. So here we need to get the text information. It should be right here. Do this. Put the bone in here. Boop. Okay. I really need to store this collision engine here. This is a beautiful one once I'm finished. Actually, you know what? I might just want to put it out there right now because it's got some beauty to it. All right, I'm just gonna upload this. This is all the stuff that's in there. The font is absolutely terrible. It'll be fixed one day. Collision engine. That's what we want. Okay, it's probably going to hang for a minute. Might even give me like a 404 no response or whatever, but you'll get me results soon. And eventually I'll be able to get back into the program. Hopefully. Should have saved beforehand. Oh. It's taking some time. As suspected. Oh, 504. Refresh left. Okay. Looks. I'll know what it looks like. Oh yeah, it looks good. Had that particular blue appearance to it. Okay, so let's save that. This is good. So right now that collision engine is probably not active yet. It's like in queue and it just takes forever for it to be updated because it's like updating. So eventually it'll be available. Take like maybe an hour or something. I don't know, maybe less. But for all the 0 people who are watching. So now what I wanted to do was basically when there's a collision, yeah, I think I'm just going to do some kind of animation on the element, and then put it off screen. So this is the first element that is colliding. So you have 2 elements colliding, and you can handle both of them. So I think that the rock should. Okay, so when there's maybe the rock will like bounce off the screen. Yes. Okay. So we'll take the ID here. So we'll modify. We have the ID. This one. I'm gonna put it right here. It's no longer gonna be my image. It's it's that particular element. So from list A, I think was the rocks. So this is going to be the particular rock that was in the collision. And then there are repeats that happen, but I think it should be mostly fine. And what we can do is we can just, I think I'm going to leave the style as is. I'm just going to have it animate off the screen. So I'm just going to do this. Let's see, scan to the left. Okay. Yeah, so this will basically make it go all the way to the left side of the screen. And okay, so yeah, it'll shift it all the way -100. And yeah, if its width is really large, that might make it not completely off screen. So I'd say probably -200 view width just to be very sure that it goes off screen. And let's just make it, at first, we'll do half a second. And let's just not put anything there. So now what it's going to do is going to take, when there's a collision, one of these elements should fly off the screen, hopefully. Hopefully that works. And then also this needs to have fill forwards. So that way when the animation is finished, it just leaves it over there. Because I want it to just basically go off the screen. Because otherwise I have to modify my collision list and all these different things, and it's just super annoying. So let's see what happens. Oh my god. Okay. Oh god. All right. This is so good. All right. Now I know exactly what I have to do in order to make this a game. So you're, the trees. I'm going to turn off the drag for the rocks. You can't drag the rocks anymore. The rocks are now the enemy. You can drag your trees. And the rocks are going to spawn really fast. Okay, so rocks spawn rate. Let's make that at like 500. There's going to be 8 for every tree that you get. And oh my god, there's so many of them. And so the goal is to, have a lot of trees, obviously. Oh my god. Okay, so I need to flip this. So it actually should be sending my trees away. So now that I think about it like that. And yeah, I'm like, do I want to change it to a little fire and make it shrink and then just shoot it off the screen? So then basically it's just like it dies, it fizzles out. All right, yeah, I think that would be pretty fun. There's a few minutes left here, so let's just take a look at this. Okay, so the ID, we're just going to delete this one, and we'll put the okay, and then we'll put this particular one here. That's going to be the new ID, and we're going to set it to a fire. So we need to get that text data back. So where is that? Oh, here we go, text data. So here's our element. And we're gonna get the fire emoji. Oh, I never wound up using the bone. The fire is just so classic. All right. And so it is gonna go left. However, first I want, well, you know what? I'll just, oh yeah, I know what I'm gonna do here. I'm just gonna add opacity to it. And as it scans to the left, it'll be like, whew, just like blow out. All right, and then this is gonna go to 0. Yeah, I just sucked it right out of my hand. Okay, that needs to be fixed. I need to remove the selectable. Need to make these unselectable. Okay, so let's go to my rocks. Here's my rock style. And this is going to be unselectable. I think I clicked it, but I maybe didn't. Okay. And then I'll do it for the tree as well, because really that is what I would prefer. The selecting could have, like, great value, but in some games or some utility, like automatically being able to do that. I could see like, oh, it burned it. Yeah, this oh shit. Getting randomly spawned on is absolutely terrible. It's extremely hard at this level. This is way too aggressive and scary. I need to remove the scroll bars because being able to do this is fucking cheating. Because nothing can ever spawn outside of this 100 by 100 view box. This is, but at this rate, this is the only way to actually. Yeah, my tree just spawned to death. This is brutal. There would definitely need to be some kind of rock purging system in this game because the only way I was able to save a single tree was by cheating. So let's just really quickly add that scroll bars detail there. Oh man, remove maybe. Remove scroll bars. Oh, scroll space bars. Okay, it shouldn't be possible to do that now. If I can even get down there, this is gonna be. Oh. Oh my god. Okay, I can't get down this way. Okay, I am still able to pull down my mouse this area, so I just as a cautionary, I should make sure that these guys go to a, nice wide range. These rocks. And oh man, I wonder how far I could go over here. This should be negative 200. Only thing is that it just results in a lot of things that are off. I'll do a little bit of a border. Negative 20. Okay. I think it'll be better that way too. It'll look more like yeah. I think that's fine. My first tree just spawned right into death. Nothing is spawning that I can actually use. I'm gonna. Oh, okay. Here we go. Oh, seriously. The fact I'm literally dragging the element all the way. I dragged it all the way over here. It's so safe. This is like an area of the game that's not part of the game, but the screen is large enough. It's. I think I've heard of this being done in other games before. But yeah, just something to be considered. Yeah, the edge detection. So it's like how to best. Oh, oh god. Oh, yeah. Like you got to be very careful. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Wait. There's one more. I'll stop when I lose. In this game, there is no you lose, game over. It's you can't play anymore. Either you quit playing because there's nowhere for anything for your guy to spawn, and so you're just like basically you could just watch rock spawn for the rest of your life, or your computer will crash because there'll be so many glitch computations going on. So you know when this game is over. We don't need to put in a game over. It's in. Okay, I think. Okay, works again. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I lost my trees. I don't think anything else is gonna come of this. So looks like it's game over. And that will be the end of this particular. Oh, yeah, there was a little spawn right there. Might help to make the hitboxes a little smaller, but it was a fun one.